Afrofish OG. What is going on, everyone? It is Taylor Afro back again for another edition of Afro in the Know. I know it's been a little bit, it's been like a month, and I've just been kind of on a dry spell. I'm not good with that. But we've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. You can go check out other social medias, but that's neither here nor there because today I have fellow streamer and content creator calling me Blacc Gaming. How is it going, sir?
It's hot. It's hot. We chopped it up before, but I'll let everybody know my AC broke on a weekend. I live in Texas. I got this fan blowing. I'm trying to make sure it don't mess with the mic and stuff. But I mean, I'm good. Blessings on blessings. Things that get worked out. They already done sent me back that they got someone coming on Monday. So
okay, good. Good.
No slumlords here.
All you have to say, I got a broke AC. And it's Texas. I don't need to hear no more. Like, dude, that's gotta be brutal. That's gotta be brutal.
I mean, well, I'm only doing my morning streams now because I usually do 2 streams. So I'm only doing my morning streams right now because it heats up during the day. All this equipment running, monitors, gaming system, all that stuff, the computer, it gets warm in the room. So I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna kick it to the morning for right now, but we're still streaming, we're still pushing out content. I still got my questions of the day I'm running through this week. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's excellent because I like your questions of the day. Like, they get me thinking. That's why I like doing I do my live things because I enjoy listening to your questions. They get me up, get me thinking a little bit. But that's what we're going to start it off from the very beginning. All right. And this is where I'm going to let Joe take the floor. I want you to take the floor on this one and just give a little bit about yourself. Like, what are you all about, man? Because that's what Afro in the Know.
Things first, I'm a Black man in America. So if you guys in here, you already know I experience a lot of the similar things as you. I might not everything the same. There might be some differences, but we have a certain mentality, and especially in the streaming space, certain experiences we all know in content creation. So that's first. Second, I'm a father. I love my kids. My oldest is he's 10 now. He's not from me, but he was raised by me, brought up by me. That's my baby boy. And then my daughter, she's with someone else and everything like that. But that is my blood. She is 5. That is my little twin. She looked like her daddy. So I'm a father first. You feel me? And then also I have a girlfriend and she has kids and everything. And those are my babies too. Those are my bonus babies. You feel me? So that's the 2 top things, being a Black man and being a father, the 2 biggest parts of my identity before everything else. Next up, I'm a veteran. I served in the Marines and I also was a soldier. I did both within 7 years. During people wonder how that worked out. During 2016, that was during the military downsize. That's when I switched branches. A lot of guys switched branches during that time, and I ended up in the Army. Then I got medical discharge and everything like that. And here we are now. And also, if you know me, you know my streaming content. I'm Color Me Blacc Gaming, streamer and content creator. I do this full time now. I'm not making no money from it, but I get disability from the military. So it allows me to fully concentrate on this while not having to worry about income. All my bills are paid, my kids are taken care of, and I can really push my dream and the kind of content creation I do, because everybody has different angles. Afro, he has the talk shows and stuff like that. If you watch Truth Waffle, he's one of my favorite. He always putting someone onto something new and everything. I'm the one who puts you onto something old, something that you didn't notice, something that you forgot about, something that came out and you thought, I'll come back to it, and never did. Because gaming can get expensive and we're living in those kinds of times, but we should still be able to enjoy it. So I'm going to show you an older game. I'm going to show you that game that's on sale that came out 2-3 years ago, that game that was on sale that came out 5 years ago, that game that none of your friends played, and so you decide to overlook it and bring you back to it. And yeah, we're going to do that. So you'll always see something different, always something different. I'm streaming, always something different in my content. And unlike other people, I finish my games. I don't want to hear what nobody say about that. I'm not that blog good.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for your service, man. Like I 110%.
I appreciate you guys' support.
Like so one thing I be personally, I support veterans. I support veterans 100%. Like I couldn't become a soldier myself, but when it's time to make
I'm listening to you. I'm gonna tell you this real quick because I want everybody to hear this, especially black guys. If you do it, you got to remember you still black in this country. Do it because you are going to take what you get from it and make something out of it. Other if it's discipline, if you're getting school, if you're trying to get yourself out of debt, take what you can and make better from it. Don't glorify it. I never glorify it. I don't care what anybody says. I ain't gonna glorify it. I appreciate everybody's support because I did it because my peoples is black and they still live in this country. So if something happens in this country at the end of the day, we still stuck too, regardless. You get what I'm saying? I always tell people I don't glorify it. I don't glorify war, none of that. I never will.
No, I feel that. I feel that. And I do. I love that. I love every section of that. And so my thing is then what was actually that got you pushed you into the streaming space? Like because like I mean, I know a lot of people, I'm sure you know people too who are like, oh, like I game, but I could never do a stream. So what actually got you into that actual market?
So it's a little bit of a this is a little where the mental health started coming in. So the one thing I do let people know, and I'm very open about, I have bipolar disorder type 2. And while that might not seem like that's important, it's actually a major part of this story because having, important to streaming, but that's how this played out because when I was working when I first got out of the military, a lot of people be like, "Oh, you got 100%. You're so lucky." No, I didn't get out 100%. I got out 80%. I worked hard. I did construction. I did demolition. I tried to become an electrical apprentice in Texas, and you know how those fields are when they're dominated by certain people. So we leave it at that. So that's why I left that and I went to assembly. But it got to a point where I could not continue a job and upkeep with my mental health. I started realizing why I love the military so much. The military is your whole life when you're in there. Even when you're off duty, it's still your life and your job. And so I was a workaholic that didn't know I was a workaholic. And that is what helped fueled into my bipolar disorder type 2, because I needed something to keep me when I'm depressed or when I'm manic and wanting to do something. I got work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what happens is when you're not taking care of yourself because of that, work don't fit right. So it got to the point where there'll be something going on in my life and I have such a mental disruption I couldn't work. I'd be at work and they'll send me home or things like that. And so eventually what happened was I ended up getting 100% from the VA and everything like that. And during that time, it was also when I was trying to see my daughter, and me and her mother was at odds at the time and things like that. It's a complicated story, but also that streaming came into play because I wanted to talk about something. I just wanted to talk to anybody. I got to a point where I just wanted to talk. There's a lot of things going on in my life. There's certain things that was going on with my son and everything. And I got to the point where gaming was not enough for me to vent, especially when my friends had the same problems as me. And so it got to the point where we were all talking about these same issues, these same deep, dark issues. And while it brought us closer as friends, it didn't show us any kind of way out. So I just wanted to talk to somebody. I wanted to talk to anybody, someone objective that's not within the situation, and just be able to talk. And a lot of times people hear, "Oh, you want to talk?" They think you need advice. I don't need advice. I already knew what I needed to do. We all knew what we needed to do and everything. So it wasn't advice that we were looking for. It was, I wanted to talk to somebody and then they can tell me something positive going on in their life or their day. And it changed my whole mood. I know it sounds crazy, but energy passes through, even if it's on the computer. When I first come in, how y'all doing today? What y'all eat for lunch? What y'all doing? I'm having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And so that and streaming brought that for me while getting to talk about what I love. And then one of the common things, since, like I said, mental health comes into play, other people having the same situations as me with different ADHD, bipolar disorder, and everything like that. The next thing that came up is financial issues. And that's how I started streaming older games, and not so much retro games, because don't get me wrong, they're fun and everything, but some people want something more up to date. So I started streaming games that are modern still technically, but you missed out on. Things you overlooked, you didn't see. And that's how that all ended up tying together. And I always tell everybody, it's on my screen when I stream, this is a mental health venting space. You can talk about whatever. I ain't going to judge you. Now, I will tell you, hey, that we're not going to disrespect nobody in here. You're not, if you're going to talk about your child's mother, you're going to not cuss her out of here. You're not going to call her a B word. We're not doing none of that. But you can talk about how you feel and your struggle and what you're going through as a person and how it makes you feel as a man currently. Because I don't think a lot of people get that, especially men. And men are heavily in the gaming space. So I want to be able to create that space for them. Women also, though, don't get me wrong. They can talk too. Everybody talk about their problems.
That's absolutely fair, and that's props too, because that's I think for a lot of people, I think it's really huge to be able to talk about mental health, and they use gaming as a way to escape. But that's absolutely true. My question, actually, my first question to you here, really quick, is the difference. I don't know the difference between what a type 2 bipolar is.
Okay.
I've never heard that before.
So there's several different kinds of bipolar. There's actually 3 major kinds, and there's other ones that different nuances to them. But the 2 major ones is type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is the one that usually everybody refers to, everybody talks about. That's because it's known for its mania. The flight ideas, spending money, hypersexuality, those certain things. Feeling the self-importance, the inflation of self, and things like that. Most people know about that part. They know bipolar type 1. Type 2 is you have hypomanic. So there's times I'm like that, but not as bad as them. Like I can stay up all night and I'm talking really fast and over energetic, over excited, but it's not as bad as that. I have had a full-blown manic at time, but it's not as common. The common thing for us is depression. Bipolar disorder type 2 is depression mostly, and the depressive episodes can last from weeks to months ranging, depending. And that's just the depression of that. That's not even talking about the rest of life coming in on us, or when you going through these depression, because people be like, oh, you're depressed, you need to do this. They confuse depression with being sad. When you're sad because something happened, an event happened, right? This happened, that happened, so now you're sad. That's not depression. Depression, I could be right here smiling in your face. Everything's going right. Bills paid. Got my, you know what I'm saying? Food in the crib. Nothing could be wrong. And it just hits me. I feel less than myself. And so while you're going through those kinds of phases, while at the same time dealing with things you can't control in life, like food being so much higher, rent going up, you know what I'm saying? Things like that that are outside of your control. Your car breaking down. On top of that depression that happened for no reason, it can become a true struggle. So that's bipolar disorder type 2, like a quick glance over, it get deeper than that. But
no, and I appreciate that, because that's actually new. Like I know, because I've had talks about it myself. I have depression. I have my own mental health issues as well. And so I didn't even know there was like that. I mean, I should have known, because like DSM-5.
Look, I always tell people, don't say should. I try to take that my vocabulary as other, because once you say should, you make it where you're beating yourself up or someone else up for not knowing something or not doing something, instead of, hey, this is what I want to know, or this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to discover. I try to take shit out my vocabulary. I try not to say it to the kids as well.
No, absolutely, and honestly, I got corrected on that one. I'm gonna have to learn.
I'm telling you, it's going to change. You said, because you say you have depression. That is a word that keys in with depression, because I should have did this. I should have did that. I shouldn't have did this. Should beats on you. Should beats on others too. Because when you're mad, what's the first thing you say? What? You should have. You get what I'm saying? So I try to limit should, and I try to catch anybody that's saying it. Don't say it. Don't say that.
That's fair. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to try. I'm gonna try not to say should then, like when we're going through this. And so, because you said you go through games. I know, pull back a little bit. I know you said you went through games that you typically people don't kind of catch, which I highly appreciate, because I think there's a lot of games that like get buried underneath the big AAA Call of Duty and all that. And so, like, when you say games that they they don't really see, so like what games would that include? Like games that you have played previously?
Okay, so 3 games, and they're all 3 on my page. I post the content of all 3, and I've been playing them recently. I just finished Pumpkin Jack. You probably never heard of Pumpkin Jack. Pumpkin Jack is basically you get to be the bad guy. You get to be the bad guy throughout the story. Evil wins at the end of this story. I will let you know now. But the style of play will remind you of Crash Bandicoot or Spyro. It's that kind of platform game. And it's not long, it's short. You can literally probably beat it within 5-6 hours if you're really good. Me, I haven't played platform gaming forever. I died a lot. It keeps track of your deaths too. Every single time you die, it adds a number on.
Oh,
I think I died 35 times before I beat the game. Yes. But you get what I'm saying? But most people probably never heard of that game, never played it. But if they go on my page and see it, you know how many people say this game looks cool? What's this game? Another game. Now, this one I've been waiting to talk to you about. It's called Akimbot.
Yeah. I've seen you play this game. I've seen you play this game.
And you've seen the clips too. And what game does it remind you of?
Reminds me of Ratchet and Clank.
Exactly. Even down to the way his body is shaped, you see the little robotic ears flap. It took him off guard. And people might feel some kind of way, clone this, clone that, but I don't see it like that. There's not another Ratchet and Clank out right now. They've already made the last one for right now. So why can't you just enjoy this to the side? I'm not saying it's better than Ratchet and Clank. I'm not saying it's worse than it. I'm saying I enjoy it because it reminds me of this game and it's fun. And you know how much I paid for it? Mind you, I'll let you guys know, I do not have a PC yet. I have a mini PC I stream on, but I don't have a PC yet. I want a PC. And so before y'all start talking about Steam sales in here, I paid like $10 for it on PS5. A game nobody really knows or heard of. Akimbot. Paid $10 of it. Having tons of fun. I done drove a car on it, flew a spaceship, rode on a dinosaur, fought Mechazilla. You feel me? And so that's another game. And then this last game, I loved it so much. It's in my top 10 of modern gaming right now. And I know that sounds crazy as hell, but I love it that much. So we got to pedal back a little bit. What happened recently is I've been looking for hack and slash games to play that do not have soul-like elements. Now, what's happening lately is even though those games are complete, they can mix together and they're fun. Like, you know, you see me play Wo Long. Yeah. But sometimes I just want to play a hack and slash. But all the bigger known ones I've played. I played Darksiders 2. I played Darksiders 2 so much I've done beat it on the Xbox 360 when I originally had it. I beat it on the Nintendo Switch when I got it again. And I haven't beat it again yet, but I have it on my PlayStation. That's how much I love that game. You get what I'm saying? Devil May Cry. I played the Devil May Cry series. That's, you know what I'm saying? Well-known hack and slash game. The Dynasty Warrior games, I like them, but that's not always the type of where I don't want to just fight in a field. I want to go through a level, a story, and everything. And so I found this game just because it looked silly. And you know how many games you look at and you be like, look at the title. No, what? It had a cat on the front and a unicorn on the front, and it is not for children. I will tell you that because once they start using profanity, I was in shock. It's called Gory's Cuddly Carnage.
Hold on,
Evil Toy.
What's it called again?
Gory, Gori.
Okay.
Cuddly. And when you see the picture, you're going to be like, what in the world is this? I have some clips on my page. Don't get me wrong. That is a hack and slash game. You look at it.
Right.
Could you tell that was a hack and slash game by looking at it?
No.
It's definitely hack and slash. It's like it. You get it's hack and slash when you go through levels and you get little new abilities and you can go to your little level up area and buy them. See, that's what you're in a real hack and slash game where you can buy moves.
Oh man, see,
like
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Solstice was good, and Solstice was another good one.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I would never thought that game was hack and slash game. I just bought it because it looked silly. I was like, why not? I'm gonna try it out. I didn't even watch no video, no prep time, no nothing. I just, whim vibes, and the vibes were right. I love the game. It's so much fun.
No, that sounds like fun. I'll have to definitely check out that gory one.
If you guys are watching this, make sure y'all check it out on my page. I drop clips. Afro, you can go on my page and you can see them cursing.
Be sure, definitely.
It's not the cat. Oh, but the premise of the game, if you guys want to know, the premise of the game is basically, I haven't finished yet, but evil toys take over the world and they're infecting everything. And the cat that you're playing, he's also technically a toy, but he's seen as a failure. Like they keep bringing that up inside the scripts. And so not only is he a failure that they wanted to destroy, the toys see him as a traitor because he's siding with a human. He's trying to save his parent, his mother, the one who made him, the doctor. and everything like that. So he's pretty much rejected by everybody except for the Chip and his hoverboard Frank. And Frank got a potty mouth. So this game is not for kids, I promise you.
I'll have to go check it.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to go check it.
It
sounds like so much fun.
It is. It really is. Like, Battlefield 6 beta is out right now. And I've been playing Battlefield 6 beta, having a good time. But then I turned around and turned on gory. Like in between when I'm like, all right, I'm done with Battlefield. Let's go gory.
Let's go gory.
Let's go, Frank.
That's awesome. And so we're gonna jump into a bit of the chats here because I do have some people talking and they're kind of excited. It seems like they're kind of interested in as well. So Strider over here says, what game would you revive to the media world that you feel is forgotten but could inspire future games? And that's the question.
Okay. And here, this is a great one. It's actually a series. It's a series. And what sucks about this series, I'll give you a little bit of background. Monolith Studios was owned by Warner Bros. And, I don't know if you've seen in the news or whatever when Warner Bros. Pretty much just destroyed it, shut it down, everything. So this IP is in the wind. I don't know if Warner Bros. Still has the IP or access to it or if they just threw it out and everything else. But Fear 3. Fear series, but I remember Fear 3 specifically because that was the one that me and my brother played together as young adults. Like we're growing up, we're going through the stages of young adulthood. Me first joining the military, he figuring out life, and that was one of the few games that we actually played together. Was Fear 3, and the reason why Fear 3, I believe, is one of those games that should be revived is because it was co-op. You get what I'm saying? Co-op. It was online co-op and couch play co-op. So they still had the couch play thing. It was an FPS with a campaign that was co-op without being competitive. Well, actually, it was competitive still, though, in a different way. Instead of us competing against each other, like trying to kill each other, we're trying to see who destroys the most people. So I had a FPS. It was a campaign that you fully go through, multiple weapons, 2 different play styles. So if you play Fennel or you play Point Man, you're getting 2 different play styles. You're playing the shooter or you're playing someone with psychic abilities. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, that sounds like fun.
And they both had different abilities. You could play online, so you could still play separate if you weren't around each other, or you could play co-op on the couch play. Everybody misses those couch play days and everything like that. And it was horror. It was a horror FPS shooter with a campaign. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with a lot of FPSs. They don't make campaigns anymore that are very, very intricate. And when they do, they only make single player campaigns when a lot of people, one of the biggest divides right now is single player game or multiplayer game. Well, what happened to co-op games? I can play with my friend. I can go through this campaign with my friend.
That's true. And I like that. I like that we mentioned that because it is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of games that I feel like when they could use that factor, they could use the co-op factor. And I didn't even think about Fear at all because I was like, damn, I forgot about that one. Because that one, what was the last one that came out of that one? Was that 360?
3 was the last one.
3 was the last one. Okay.
That's when you at the end, Fenton's already dead. He's basically a ghost. Y'all go to y'all end up stopping the mother, then you have to fight him at the end. I beat my brother tail. Yeah, because he didn't want to destroy mother, and you were so.
Then I'm destroying you both.
Yeah, so
that's dope. And I think another game that could revive, and I don't like saying it because it's like kind of a basic one, but I really feel that the infamous titles could use, and I feel like it's because those games, none of those games are just good, but that world feels like there's so much to explore. Like there's still so much. Like you're telling me that only in these 2 areas that people got powers. Like you tell me, like not in other spaces.
You know what? You know why I love Infamous so much? Even though it gave me the feeling, and I don't know if anybody else, it reminded me of Static Shock in a way, and not because of the actual electric power. It wasn't that reminded me of it. It's because of how things went down. If you remember in Static Shock, bang babies, everybody got powers, people choosing to be good or evil and stuff like that. Infamous gave us that feeling that we got while we watched Static Shock. Now, of course, not the the Black empowerment feeling, but the situation at the time and put it in a game.
That's true. I mean, the next
character, like if there was a Static Shock game, if there's a Static Shock game, I will want it. And well, of course, you're going to have a good alignment all the way through and through. But want it where you had people in it where choosing like random main babies that weren't in the show that they made up just for the game, and you help them out. And you can try to, if you ignore them, they turn evil, and you have to fight them later. Like with the system, like Shadows of Mordor, if you beat somebody, they come back stronger than later. But if you do end up helping them, they can end up being an ally to you in some way or form or shape.
That's fair. I think I think too, like for another Infamous, if you're gonna do another Infamous, I feel like it'd be best to one bring in maybe a chance for some sort of, I mean, character customization would be nice. I've always liked to be able to create my character if I possibly can, especially for the world that I'm in. Um, but if they don't, yes, I think having like if you could choose like one of the powers like right off the bat here, because Infamous has kind of a wide variety. So like
Yeah.
if you could have one of your power, you could rip out one of the powers and you can use that for yourself right now. What would you choose?
I'm going with electric off top. I'm sorry. Like I said, electric is off top. Because electric is always the most flexible power, depending on the rider. Have you ever noticed? Electricity always is the most flexible, depending on the rider. It can technically stop speed depending on what you're doing with it. Like if you remember how they made OG Static Shock, the grown Static Shock, all the stuff you could do. Remember the episode he charged Green Lantern's ring?
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
If you watch Hunter x Hunter, Killer will use electricity to make him move faster and have automatic reflexes by sending signals into his brain.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
Hunter x Hunter
yeah,
reference.
you get what I'm saying?
Like,
So anytime electricity is involved, it's literally one of the most flexible powers they use in media, and then people don't realize how flexible it is because they never compare it.
Like, and that's a good one too, because one, I'm not gonna lie, we got a couple. I know I got people in the comments
Yeah.
that are gonna say Hunter x Hunter right off the bat. But two, I think because I know for myself, it actually be the video power. That whole like video ability I thought was so cool. Just like to be able to jump into like the internet and just be like, hey, bye. And just boom, there I go. And I'm just gone. I can create my own little like demon avatars, angel avatars.
My brain is working to overdrive. You just gave me Mega Man vibes. All of a sudden, Battle Network.
I could be.
Hey, look, if y'all know, I know games. Like I've been playing games since. You know what? Before we answer any other questions, I need to let them know. I have 3 Sega Genesis in here that I'm trying to fix, and one of them I've had since I was 3 years old. Jeez. That's when 4 years old is when I first started learning how to play the game. And the first game I played was Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic and Knuckles, actually, not Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic and Knuckles. So yeah, it goes back like that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's old. So that's good because actually, the next question on the list actually comes from J-Box Power. And that is, what games are y'all looking forward to this year? Look at the beard on this man.
So, hey man, I'm jealous because I have a beard
man,
and it look good, but it don't look that good.
It don't look as good on. It wouldn't look good on me. I couldn't pull it off.
I can. I was Rick Ross, baby. I got tattoos too. Hell yeah, big beard.
Gotta get that.
But, what am I looking forward to? And you know what's crazy? I'm actually like a lot of people. I'm not as picky as most people, which kind of bothers them, but I'm not as picky because I like to give things a chance. And not only do I like to give things a chance, I like to see the good that are in things and hope for improvements, because what I've realized is if you give something a chance and you state what's wrong with it and people state what's wrong with things officially, there's a better chance of it getting fixed than just bitching about it in your chat. Hey, I don't like this. This is a bug in the game. Let me go on the official site and tell them there's something wrong with this.
That's actually cute. That's a good idea for.
I don't think I started realizing most people don't do that. I thought I was like, I realized I'm the weirdo because when I bring it up, I'm like, yeah, I sent in a bug fix. You did what? Yeah, you don't send in bugs so they can actually try to fix the fucking game.
No, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna bitch and moan, and then I'm just gonna keep on playing.
And so the game, one of the games I look forward to because it's been in the making for 10 years, and it comes out at the end of this month. Lost Souls Aside. It is hack and slash, baby. My bread and butter.
That one does.
I love Metal Gear Rising just because it was a hack and slash. You feel me? The most different Metal Gear out the series. What else?
Fair.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm also Borderlands 4. And the reason why I'm looking forward to Borderlands 4 because I actually have people to play Borderlands with. Now, I'm going to make a commitment to here. And this is one of those backlog moments. I've never finished the Borderlands. I've played all of them, never except for 2. I've never finished them. And now that you're my friend, we can start over at 1
We
and
could.
play them together.
I got 1, 2, 3, and
I just don't
got
have all the add-ons. But
yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
but I am excited for Borderlands 4. It looks good. I've been watching and stuff like that. So 2 other games I'm excited for, and then I'm done. I'm because the Phantom Blade Zero I'm excited for, but not as excited as I am for the new Sonic Racing game.
Okay,
Because
yeah, that's another one coming through.
One, it gives those Mario Kart vibes, and I'm all the way down with the Mario Kart vibes, and it's Sonic. I've been playing Sonic since I was a kid. They're going to bring back the boards. They're bringing back Jet and all of them. They're bringing in all these characters. So the Sonic Racing game, super excited for, and this game called Hell Is Us. And the only reason why I'm excited for that game is because it's going to be an open world game where you're actually lost. Everybody always complains they're lost in an open world game. I don't know what to do with this quest. I can't find this. No, there's no quest markers in this game. There's no. The story unfolds as you pick random shit that you choose to do. And so it's an open world game where you can't be like, oh, it's too many fetch quests and third, because you don't know what to do next. It might be like that for you because you decide to do certain things.
Right.
Oh, it's going to be on you.
What is that one called again?
Hell Is Us.
Hell Is Us. Okay, I will definitely be checking that one out. The demo comes out August 12th. Definitely will be checking that one out as well. I love that. I love those ones. I love finding out like new shit about like different games that come through that I might even not think about. Because I know myself wise, I agree with you on 2 of those. Lost Soul aside, absolutely, the game looks fantastic. Another one obviously is going to be Borderlands 4. Everyone knows I'm a huge Borderlands fan. I'm a Borderlands simp. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I 100%. They did go like, oh, you playing a game? It's usually Borderlands. And I played Borderlands 3. I don't know for how fucking long, but I think another one too.
You know what? I think you will like anybody in the comments. Like, make sure if y'all agree with me or don't agree with me, because he likes Borderlands so much. I think he will enjoy the Shadow Warrior series.
I've heard about the Shadow Warrior series too. I've had someone talk to me about it. It looked pretty interesting. One of them, I know, like one of them that I'm interested in, and I think you might like this one. It's called Dark Queen of Morthul. It's a game where you play as the queen. You play as the queen. It's not very long, I guess, but like you play as the queen itself, the final boss, and every time you beat,
you beat somebody, they come back stronger and stronger.
Yep. And that's so I'm kind of excited.
That sounds pretty. I seen it, and it made me think like kind of like roguelike, but opposite.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, cool. I'm the final boss, like bitch, and then the keys coming back. So it's something that I want to check out myself. It looks like it sounds like it's gonna be really cool. Like it looks like it's gonna be amazing. There's quite a few of them in here. We got 2, but as we got further comments, J-Box had another one. Oh no, that was the one that both coming forward to this year. So Senpai had what game? Thank you for the like or the follow, by the way, Senpai. What game do you wish you could forget altogether?
Damn, that's hard. Oh, that's pretty hard. You know what? I have to look at my phone because I did forget it altogether. I bought it for $1. I literally bought it for $1. That is not. And when you look, I was so pissed because I try to give some indie guys a chance, but I don't even understand why PlayStation published this game and put it up there. Like, was it just a got you? So it's called Samuel. This is probably the worst game I've ever bought. Samuel, The Legacy of Ophiuchus. So I'm gonna tell you how to spell it so you can look it up. Samael, and then The Legacy of. I'm gonna tell you the rest. Ophiuchus. Worst game I ever bought. So mad.
Samuel O.P. What was it?
It's O.P. Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus. Got me. And I think that's the one time I actually, like I said, I be buying games I don't really like to watch videos because I don't want someone else's opinion on the game. I want my own opinion. And I'll bite that bullet just to have my own opinion, because a lot of times people will show you the worst part of a game in a video. And so now you get this bad thinking about the game and not some of the better parts of the game. But this is one where I wish I would have watched the video or I would have looked it up, because you literally do nothing in the game. You just be running around and you can't find nothing to fight. And I'm like, where is anything to fight? Because that's the only reason why I wanted to ride the dragon and fight things. I didn't care if they ain't have nothing else.
My friend Jack said, I think this is the game that the one jackass has insider connections, so it's just crap just keeps getting published.
I mean, what? Hey, we have to look into this. I want to know because I'm just like,
damn,
what is this?
Damn, that is wild.
That is,
I will have to
crazy.
agree though too. I will have to agree that I think there's some people who do get their stuff pushed, despite the fact that they might not put out the best stuff. They still get their stuff pushed no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible to happen. I'll definitely have to keep my eye open for that one.
I have over 300 games on my PlayStation. That's not including my Xbox or my Nintendo Switch library. I don't have a Switch right now. That is the worst game I've ever bought and played. Ever.
I don't even think I have one. Like I don't know. Like,
or my Sega collection in the bed.
Sega. I think there's some games that I like, but I don't necessarily know. But like I've never been like, this is so bad I just can't play it. But I've never played a game. I don't think that I was just like, I just need to forget it altogether. I'll probably think of it after like the podcast is over and be like, there it is. But like for right now, there really isn't anything. Like every game that I played, they might not all have been necessarily great, but I don't feel like they've ever been something.
Or for me, that's what I say. Like I'm mature enough to say this isn't for me. And that's why I can enjoy so many games because I know what I like and what I don't like. Oh yeah, he won't watch Hunter X Hunter. Yeah,
I haven't watched Hunter X Hunter.
You know what? This is what I'm gonna tell you to do. Don't watch the rebooted version. Watch the original. The reason why, because that's gonna interest you more. Because you want to know what was the angle at in the 90s. I bet you'll watch, or I think it came out in the 80s. You'll watch the original version before you watch the reboot. I bet. Watch the original.
So the worst game played is take a shot every time Afro dies in a game. I almost died.
Oh my god!
Oh damn! I get shots taken. I know, Jack. I get shots taken all the time.
Oh.
But it is, I'm not the greatest when it comes to games. You should watch me play some of my Elden Ring. I feel like we need to break the stranglehold the anti-woke crowd has on the gaming community before we can uplift them. But this is a goal I can get behind for sure. I loved Vagrant's story. Yeah, I agree with you.
So
I want to hear your thoughts on this one, though, too, because I could pop off. I know I could.
This is what I tell people: the best, and it is crazy because I know everybody has different opinions in this, but this is what I've learned since I've been on the internet. The more I comment on something and complain about it, the more it gets picked up on, the more the exposure it gets. It can get exposure from people that absolutely hates it, and it'll push them more. Because now I dislike some and you dislike some, and I told you about it. So now you went and watched it and you went to comment on it. And so now it's getting pushed further and further and further. And so we need to be as loud about positive stuff that they are about negative stuff. And so what happens is, like, for example, I know people that play plenty of great games, but how many people talk about these great games and just strictly talk about the great game? I know there's going to be negative people that come down in the comments. There's always going to be those. But how many people can just continue on that positivity train, being as loud about our positivity as they are about their negativity?
That's true. That's not easy.
And like even me, like other than there's a few guys I've seen it, and Mindful Gamer, he's a good example that does this. But other than that, how many videos have you seen on Forspoken? I've heard people talk about it's not that bad of a game. I enjoy the game. You get what I'm saying? But then I start posting content of me playing the game, regardless of anybody had to say about it. Regardless of anybody disagreeing with it, I was loud about my enjoyment of the game. So if you're as loud about positivity, you're going to find more positive people and inspire them to be loud about their positivity too.
Right. And that's very, very true. Actually,
because you're not going to be able to change them. I know that. I was in the military with them. People I will have to risk my life with or for to save, and they'll still look at me like I'm just another N-word.
Well, and
I know that.
That's the hard part about it.
With bigots, and that's with any kind of bigotry, not just that, but you know what I'm saying? Yes, some people will change over time, but those are people that change because you were loud about your positivity and they love that. But the people that are not going to change, they're not going to change regardless.
No,
so be loud about your positivity.
I would say, because I know, like myself, I went and I did Saints Row, right? I played the Saints Row game. I'm still playing through it, and I still have a lot of fun with it because I said I liked it because it compared to Saints Row 3. And when I compared it to Saints Row 3, people were like, well, this game is just trash. It's trash. It's bad. I don't know why you would bring it up, blah, blah, blah. Why are you playing Saints Row? That's bad enough. And I'm but you never give any reasons for why it's
Yeah.
bad. You know, same
You
with
know what's
Forspoken.
funny? I can tell you why I like that Saints Row, but they can't tell me why it's bad. You want to know why I like that Saints Row? Because one of the bigger things that come, unless you're on PC and you can mod, you cannot play GTA with a co-op mode and not have people kill you, unless you put it in your own server, do all that. I got to play a campaign with someone else, and we just played through the story together. Just a co-op mode, and yeah, I wish it would have been nice. You know, it's harder to play, say, couch play in that conversation for that game because having the full screen actually is really nice on that game. But just two different systems in the same room, two TVs, playing co-op together, and it was a fun experience.
Oh, that
But
sounds
people miss
awesome.
out on that kind of thing, especially people that ain't got no friends,
Right.
or
And,
they have friends. They have friends that are negative people, so they don't want to tell them that they like something. Oh no, I
no,
gotta
and that's
hide that.
true.
They're gonna talk bad about me.
And that's, and that's the thing too, is like they, a lot of times when we talk about, just our positivity in general, and like if I'm positive about Forspoken, like, and I know me and Mindful talked about it, and we talked about Forspoken, and we had a bit of a disagreement in certain aspects, but it was nothing,
I know I was there lurking.
oh yeah. And I loved it. Like I overall I had a very good enjoyment of it. I just felt like the beginning was a little long, but that was about it, right? And so people are like, "Oh, I just can't play it because it's just blah blah blah." And this is what I've said before. I've said this in previous. I know I talked to Jack about it, and I know another guy, Black Scorpio, who's in here as well, has heard me say this too. And like before I even get in, when I do my lives or anything like that, if I start hearing people start bringing up stuff like even the term woke and stuff like that, I will tell you to go and actually research what the word actually means.
Oh
If you
yeah,
can't know what it means and you're using it wrongly, then I am going to just straight up. I'm like, you cannot have this kind of conversation because you do not know what you actually the fuck you're talking about, and we just move on from there.
I'm actually gonna buy another one because you just reminded me that I needed to. But I used to, growing up, I had a dictionary and a thesaurus in my house. A dictionary is my brother still makes music, but we used to rap together and we used to play a game called Conversation where we had a rapid bar day back and forth to each other, but we had to use words, real words, and we will read the dictionary all the time. We would read a thesaurus, we would use vocabulary, and that's my vocabulary was better back then. I need to get brush up on it, but and so that just proves the point right there. Why one thing I have realized, and this isn't any media space, this is in most spaces, but we're going to talk about it in video gaming. Most people don't know anything about they're talking about. And this is the funniest thing. You've never played it. You've never read anything about the developers on it or whatever. You want the most maximum amount of information from watching a little clip of an angry person instead of trying something for yourself, exploring something new, taking a chance or a risk so you can really find yourself. See, one thing about life is it's full of risk. There's nothing that's for certain. You might like something, you
Yes.
might not. But if you haven't done that yet, if you do not have the balls to do that, you don't got where you'll speak at. What can you really talk about? You didn't
No,
try
very true.
something because you were scared you wouldn't like it and another person didn't like it. Do you know how pussy that sounds? Like, could you imagine just saying that in real life? Like, yeah, I didn't try this food because they said they didn't like that, and I was scared I wouldn't like it too. Or are you going to spend that $5? Tell me if this is the greatest burger you ever had, or this junk ain't hitting, or it's not for me, and move on.
And that does happen a lot. That happens so much, especially in the gaming space, where we get people who are just like, "Well, I won't even try it." Like, for example, I was like Saints Row. The one I bring it up is because Saints Row also showed up on PlayStation Now or the PlayStation, no, PlayStation Plus
Plus,
Premium.
for free to play.
So yeah, and I'm like, it's a free game. If you have PlayStation Plus, play it. Oh, I would never play a game that I don't want to hear you bitch about. Then you don't get to talk about it. Like, you don't get to sit here and talk about it. Like, you have an opportunity to go and play this. It would take you what? Give it a couple hours, and if at the most, and you don't even gonna do that.
It reminds me of something. Me and you we heard it last Sunday. We were both inside their 8 Bit Fish show, and he said something. He said that a lot of these gamers feel like if someone is getting a game that they enjoy or something that they like that they personally don't like, that the studio isn't going to make a game that they like. And I remember him saying that, and I think that's after hearing him say that and starting to this, that, and the third, I can definitely understand. If someone else is being appealed to, you feel like you're being ignored. It's like having two kids in the house.
Yeah,
It's like having two kids in the house, right? And so you happen that one kid likes spaghetti and one kid likes Alfredo. And tonight, guess what? You're making spaghetti, and the other kid's mad. Oh well, I wanted Alfredo, but you get what I'm saying? But Alfredo can still come. There's still tomorrow. There's still another day. We can still have Alfredo later this week. But you're mad about the spaghetti tonight. Because and then you're not even happy for the other person being happy, like your brother, your sisters right there. That you get what I'm saying, enjoying themselves, enjoying the spaghetti, and then you want to talk shit to them. Yeah, you disgusting. Why you eat like that? That shit really good to you like that?
I think one of the things too that's really big is I think a lot of people, they want the opinion, but they really don't know it. So then they just kind of like, they're like, okay, well, what did Asmongold say?
Yeah.
So he said that the game is trash. Okay, cool. Well, this game obviously sucks. And I think there are games that are bad, right? We saw that with Mind's Eye as another one that came out, was not very did not turn out very good.
Wasn't feeling it.
And I try to encourage people. Thanks for this for subscribing, Matt. I appreciate that. I think there's times where games do come back, they are bad, and it doesn't help when like the for Mind's Eye, for example. What is it? It was the publisher, like, or the developer was just like attacking people afterwards too, and I was
Splitgate had the same problem. Like Splitgate was fun, but the issue was they weren't fully prepared. They had server issues. It got really bland. They didn't have any really plans to push anything out, and then the stuff they were pushing out was the same thing as their competitors at a more expensive price, and the things that they complained about their competitors were doing.
Right. No, exactly. Which does kind of suck because I like Splitgate.
I liked it too, but they're just like,
like it's just kind of you have to be able, especially in now, you have to be able to establish yourself away from your competitors in some sense of the imagination. You have to have something that's going to click. This is why like we see big ones like obviously Overwatch had their say, Fortnite has their say. COD has their say because they've already cemented into that area where it's like you're going to budge them.
Guilty pleasure game for you guys to try. I got two of them. One's called Paladins. You guys might remember this game. Paladins is great. And guess what? Since not a lot of people are on it, that over competitive buzz that you get playing Marvel Rivals and Overwatch that make you like, I want to turn this off. I don't have that problem on Paladins. I can play it for 3 hours straight and have a great time. Another game, Hawk. Now, Hawk, they have their issues as a studio. Don't get me wrong, but the fixes that they made, I like the gameplay of the game. They gave PvE a separate mode than PvP. So if you just want a co-op little adventure with somebody, you can do the PvE map. But if you want to get down and dirty, and try to get that treasure before somebody else, there's PvP, and you get to shoot at people. You get what I'm saying? So 2 games, both free to play. Y'all go ahead and check those out.
See another one's guys there too. You listen to that as well. I'm interested in what in the fact of, since you do play some underrated ones, right? Games that I wouldn't say underrated, but just like don't get talked about enough, right? And that tells us to the title of underrated, right? Every once we hear like this game is underrated. What, in your opinion, makes an underrated game?
My opinion is when I name a game and everybody's looking at me like, "Huh? What's that?"
That's fair. That's fair. Like,
that's the best way to explain it. I could go through. Let me see.
I think Evolve Evolve could make a comeback. That'd actually be
Evolve could, but they have to. The over monetization got to go.
Yeah. If it was a free game, I think it'd be a lot more fun.
Let's see. Underrated game that came out. I'm trying to think. Right now, I'm scrolling through my phone because I'm going through my PlayStation list. I'm not even going through my Xbox list because they're going Flintlock Siege of Dawn. Flintlock Siege of Dawn is an underrated game that came out. One, most people don't know about it, or they do. Do you know the first thing to play? The main character is a colored woman, a color and a woman. So you already know how that goes. But it's a Souls-like game. It's very unique. It's underrated. Atlas Reign of Sand. And I can understand why people might not like Atlas Fallen Reign of Sand. But if you also, on the flip side, a lot of people did not play it with another person.
Yeah.
It is a co-op campaign-made game. And yes, you can play it single player, but your experience will not be the same unless you utilize everything about that game. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, they at the end of the day, regardless of, you get what I'm saying, at the end of the day, you might not be interested in the game because it doesn't have a certain feature, but you can say the game's not for you if it doesn't have a certain feature, but you cannot say the game is bad because it doesn't have a certain feature, because some people may enjoy that feature.
True.
You get what
True.
I'm saying?
True. And I
Another
think
underrated game, Deathloop, super underrated. Deathloop is
I
very
played Deathloop a little bit. I thought it was good. I'm just not good at like. Would that be considered a roguelike?
It's roguelike FPS kind of, but yeah, it does have roguelike elements because you die, you
Okay.
can pick up different things every time. Da da da.
Yeah.
But one thing I found interesting about that game is a one-on-one PvP, where it basically is something they take out of Souls-like books, where you get to invade another person's match and try to kill them. I think that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I think that the rogue like the Deathloop was good. I did play some of Atlas Rain of Sand. I definitely see what you mean though. It's got a cool traversal. I will say the traversal is cool. I love how you just kind of like just go sand riding. I thought that was really interesting, and the combat and the game overall is actually still pretty fun. But I have not had a chance to play it co-op yet, so I'm really kind of waiting for that one. And it's always funny because one of the games that I hear a lot getting called underrated at the time, I don't think as much anymore, was the Batman Arkham Origins. And
Yeah.
I was like, I was never like, this game isn't underrated. You guys just your expectations were skewed. Because I think
I believe it's underrated because at the end of the day, word underrated, you have to break down the word itself. Under and rated. What is rated? Rated is how people say a game is. If they rate it high or rate it low. So even if their perception of the game was skewed, they still rated it low, which caused the game to become underrated.
that's fair. I think and can a game stop being underrated?
Yeah. You want to know how it stops being underrated? It becomes popular. And you know what happens when a game becomes popular? They rate it high as shit. It's not underrated no more.
Because I know, like for myself, I always had I had Arkham Origins actually above Arkham Asylum. I had it my third favorite overall, and I think Arkham Asylum is like the last. It's not because it's a bad game. It's just because the other ones also just hit it out of the park in some way that just hits me a little bit more. But like I would have like Arkham City. I actually have now grown to put Arkham Knight at first. Like Arkham Knight, I think is amazing.
You want to know what happened with Arkham Knight?
Mm.
What happened with Arkham Knight is at the end of the day, people forget that most of us known Batman for a while. Most of us grew up watching Batman. Most of us, at least a good amount, either seen the comics, watched the movies, watched the animated series. So we have a good, pretty character, knowing of the character. So when the storyline wasn't a big surprise for them, it was kind of, you could tell what was going on. They were disappointed. But it's very hard to make a surprising storyline with well-known characters. And a lot of people forget that. You can't have a storyline that's character accurate in a surprising storyline. You can, but it's very, very hard, especially with something as popular as Batman or DC. If we known all these characters all our lives, that we known, hey, this looks like this is going to be the bad guy because he's showing behaviors that's like this character we know. Now, if they made the character different, act and behave different, and then he end up being the big bad guy, guess what? Everybody be mad. That's not how he acts. He wouldn't have did things like that. That's not him.
Like that's a good way to look at it. Like honestly, like that's a really good way to look at it, because when I look at like the Arkham Knight, and at one time I was like, man, I kind of wish they would have had their own unique character just for the Arkham Knight series. But at the same time, if we would have had a unique character who knew Batman like that, then it would have been like, well, how the fuck does this guy know Batman? This doesn't make any sense.
This isn't canon. Why did they make this? This is trash.
Oh my god, the fucking statement, this isn't canon, gets me, because so many times there's so many people who don't even know like what their own canon is.
So, you know what? You know what's crazy? And you know what? I'm gonna say it right here, and I don't care who's in the chat. The Superman that's out, yes, there's not everything about him that is quote unquote canon, but for the most part, he is comic book accurate as hell. And you can tell who did not touch a comic book as a child, because the first thing they say is this is trash. Well, comic books were never your thing. You thought comic books were trash, so of course you're going to think this Superman is trash. If you look up one of the weaker versions of Superman is called the Man of Tomorrow. It's the Man of Tomorrow series. Man of Tomorrow, he doesn't punch worlds. You get what I'm saying? He is the base Superman that we see. You get what I mean? And he has a great story about him because they can make a story about Superman other than him being the strongest one there.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing I don't know why I had like a fucking spasm there, but like I feel I feel like when it comes to Superman, and I'm glad that you brought this movie because I actually really liked the movie. I thought
Me
that
too.
I
I
had a
love
lot
the
of fun,
movie.
loved it, and I really
It felt
feel
like
like
watching a comic book, right?
yes,
Like instead of having to turn the page to a comic, because you know what? We also watch anime. So that probably kicks in too. You ever notice when anime is a lot like the manga, it feels like you getting a chance to watch the manga.
hmm
And so I have that same experience watching this Superman movie, which is why I enjoyed it.
that's fair. I loved it. I'm not gonna lie, I loved the movie. I had a blast with it. I thought that overall it was just a good time, but especially with Superman. This Superman I loved. I loved watching this Superman, like the way that he not just with his powers, because I think a lot of people just only look at him as Superman, the man with powers, right? They don't look at Superman as like this dude who has the whole world sitting on his shoulders, you know? And I think because of that, we get these people who just don't understand. And so they're so used to just God Superman, right? The stoic, blah, blah, blah. So you got a
But
Superman that's jokey.
even I'm about to say, even in the animation, there's certain animated versions of him that isn't like that. Like there's a
Exactly.
lot of them there where he's very lost on what to do and stuff in
Mhm,
the animated version. So unless they're only watching Justice League Unlimited, which of course he's going to be the stoic one because there's a supporting cast to have the other personality traits. But any
exactly.
show with Superman by himself is a lot of them aren't like that.
No, exactly. And as a person who loved like I love the Superman show. I'm not gonna lie. There's no way I can sit here and say I love the Superman TV show. I love Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, but for different reasons. You get what I'm saying? I love them all for different reasons.
Right. Oh, oh, we got the freeze. Oh no, we got the freeze. 56 minutes in and we got the freeze. Oh man. Oh, that's not good. Okay. That does happen. That happens every once in a while. Hopefully, he got sent to the gulag, my guys. Like he got it with the with the Zawado. So what we'll do is I'll try to move him from him. Maybe we can get him to bounce back up. Let's we'll hit him with the one coming up here, and in the moment we will be right back. Let's see. Alrighty. All right, everyone. So I just want to give you guys kind of a quick heads up. It looks like his internet has dropped. He had a network outage, so he won't be able to continue it on. Unfortunate, because we had a really good one here up here about almost an hour. So, but with all that being, make sure to follow him over on TikTok, Twitch, color me Blacc, Blacc. And with all of that as well, you guys know where to follow me, obviously, because you guys are here. You guys are here for me. You guys know where to catch me on Discord, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all under the same name. And this is with all the discussions and stuff, Afro Fishbowl discussions. We'll be continuing those as well. Yes, curse you, ISP. Curse you and your inability. I'm just gonna start saying that ISPs are racist now. I don't know, but but with all that, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic time. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream so far. And as always, I'm Taylor from Afro Fish OG, and I will catch you all in the next one.